Welcome back to Education Insight Daily. I'm Dr. Josh Mack. On today's show, we're tackling a question that surfaces every year. Why do many of the same students keep attending summer school? You know, summer school isn't for everybody. But should we stick with it or rethink the model and switch to year-round schooling? Let's break it down. Okay, summer school was intended to close learning gaps. Why do we have repeat attendees, folks? Let's start with the numbers. Do you know that learning loss during the summer averages 1 month per school year, especially in math? And low-income students often lose even more. Nearly 80% of schools offer summer school programs, with millions of students attending each year. Yet attendance is often low. In Tennessee, only 13% of students attended summer school regularly. Now, summer schools help, they really do, but only when students attend consistently and apply it effectively. Now, let's hear from the people that it impacts. Now, I often speak to students and teachers, and I teach summer school. I've taught it, been an administrator in summer school. I've done a little bit of both. And I've asked the question, why do you keep showing up every summer? How's it impacting you? And from a quote from one student, it seemed to be a common thing, was, I did summer school twice, or I did it 3 times, and it just didn't stick. What does that mean? What does it mean it didn't stick? How do we deep dive into that? And teachers have pretty much the same common theme as well. Teachers' concern is that, we see the same kids come back every year. We know they need consistency and not just summer catch-up. And these voices highlight that summer school often treats symptoms, but it fails to treat the root causes. So what if we didn't rely on summer catch-up? Enter year-round school, right? We would be redistributing the traditional 180 instructional days into shorter, more frequent sessions. Now let's look at a video from Richland 1, which is a school district that is considering year-round school.
We're going to get started this Thursday talking about education. We've heard the phrase year-round school tossed around for years now.
Yeah, we were just talking about it, but now Richland 1 is actually considering making this a reality. So News 19's Walker Lawson breaks down the proposal tonight and also gets reaction.
Students and teachers here at Richland School District 1 may be headed back into the classroom earlier than they're used to during the 2026-2027 school year. That's because the district has proposed and is seeking input on this calendar, which would shorten summer breaks while extending fall and spring.
So how can that 180 days be spread? How can we use it most efficiently and effectively for our students, for our staff, for our teachers, and for our families?
That's the question Dr. Eunice Williams with Richland School District 1 says they are asking that's led to the potential change in the 2026-2027 schedule, and they want the answers in a survey. So what would change if approved? Well, school would begin mid-July. July 21st to be exact, rather than August, and would end the last week of May. Summer break would be end of May until July. An extra week off of school would be added to spring and fall break. If students need extra support, they may come to school during the 2-week intersessions, and enrichment opportunities may be provided. As for things that will remain the same, students will attend 180 days and teachers 190 days. Dr. Williams says there are some things that need to be considered before the change is made.
But then we have such a fantastic summer program here that serves thousands of children. You know, how do we break that up so that we're still meeting those needs in those 1 or 2 week breaks? And how does that affect our families? How does it affect our staff that may live in another district but serve here?
For Amanda Paluzzo, when she first saw the idea,
I was very against it. I didn't like the concept.
but after further examination,
I think it would be great for my family personally.
and while she knows different challenges face different families, it could be a benefit to the community.
In the summer, the kids kind of get bored and they start falling behind. They forget some of the important concepts. Parents are constantly finding activities to keep them busy.
The district is asking for those to complete the survey before Friday, February 21st. Walker Lawson, News 19, WLTX.
Research suggests performance is on par or slightly better than traditional models, with fewer dropouts. Also, about 10% of U.S. schools already follow a year-round calendar. It gives better retention and earlier intervention, and are key benefits, though the model comes with logistical challenges. Of course, there's going to be some logistical challenges. We can work through the logistics. So if we're weighing the pros and cons, we can compare the two models. In terms of summer school, some of the pros are targeted catch-up, of course. The cons is low attendance, burnout, repeating cycles of students just continually repeating to come to summer school. In terms of effectiveness, only strong with high attendance. I'll say it again. It's only strong with high attendance. Now let's look at the year-round model. Some of the pros of the year-round model is shorter intervals, steady interventions because of those shorter intervals. And some of the cons, if there's cons, it would be scheduling complexities for families and staff. How do you change your schedule so you can meet the needs of a year-round schedule? It's doable. A lot of districts are doing it, but it's something when you're transitioning you'd have to consider. But we're resilient people, right? We do what's best, not what's convenient. The effectiveness, comparable to traditional schools, but with, it has added equity built in. Now, one-time summer efforts often fail repeat students, but a structured year-round model may provide more consistent support, the kind of consistent support that students need. Now, what about the impact of year-round schooling? What do you think? Instead of hearing it from me, let's hear from some educators, parents, and students who live it. Mind you, this next video is from about 7 years ago.
Well, today is the final day of class for an elementary school in Lake Orion, but they're not going on a long summer break. They're only off for a few weeks. That's because they're a year-round school. Our Paula Tutman takes a closer look at how going to school all year impacts the students.
Take a look at these kids right here. They're really, really happy kids, even though they're not getting ready to go on summer vacation. Today at Carpenter Elementary School in Lake Orion, students have been enjoying a spirited festival celebration. These students are acknowledging a milestone, releasing classroom-raised butterflies to signify the freedom to succeed. 20 years ago, they became one of the first schools in Michigan to go to a balanced year calendar, meaning they don't have a long summer break. Instead, they have sporadic short breaks and attend school throughout the year.
Our students only have a 6-week break, which allows them to minimize that loss, hit the ground running, and do more of a briefer review session at the beginning of the school year.
Historical data from the last year of MEP standardized testing indicates students really start to shine in this year-round school by the critical 4th and 5th grades.
So this afternoon, when we're working on our book trailers.
In 2013, the state average for 5th grade reading was 72. The Lake Orion School District average was 90. But at Carpenter, that number jumped to 97.
I think it improves our learning because you're not cramming a bunch of stuff into your mind. You're kind of spreading the learning out, and you learn it better and quicker, kind of, because you remember the other stuff, and then they give you a break between.
Math scores are even more startling. Fifth graders statewide showed a 45% proficiency. The entire Lake Orion district, 70%. But Carpenter Elementary scored an 83% proficiency in math from MEP testing.
It minimizes some of the summer loss that students experience when they have the traditional calendar and the long summer break.
Parents approve.
We come back the first week of August, and quite honestly, most kids are bored. They're bored after that.
Some people didn't think it was a very good idea at all.
Rose Edwards is the original principal of Carpenter, who spearheaded the move to the year-round elementary school.
Even though we had high expectations, we were even surprised because things turned out so much better, things that we hadn't even thought about, even physically, medically. If there was a bug going around, we had a break, everyone got well, they came back, our attendance records went up.
So these kids' intersession, that's what they call it, actually starts June 17th, and then they're back in school until their next break. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Now, you can see they stress benefits like early remediation and less summer slide, but also note the need for new routines. So here's a list of benefits that was noted for summer school. Reduced learning loss. A shorter summer break prevents significant knowledge loss. We all can agree to that. Even as a musician, when I study music, if I don't practice one day, I notice a little something. If I don't practice 2 days, other people will notice a little something. You have to consistently practice. Another significant benefit is improved academic performance. Higher scores in reading and math is what we're going for, folks. And if you can show me a district that's using this model and they're having improved academic performance, then it shows that the model works with that population of students. Consistent retention. Learning is more evenly distributed when it's consistent. You have to repeat it. Practice makes permanent. I tell students that all the time. Practice makes perfect. No, practice makes permanent. The more you practice, the more permanent the knowledge becomes. So that consistent retention helps you when the learning is distributed more evenly. Efficient review time, and that means less forgotten content, which leads to faster, focused learning. Less forgotten content leads to faster, focused learning. You also have a lower burnout rate. With more regular breaks, that reduces fatigue. Right? I was often told by my supervisor in one school, I love her, whenever you need to take a break to reduce your fatigue, you have the time, take it. Because you come back recharged, energetic, and you're ready to hit the ground running and take on the challenges that you're going to face in the classroom or in the school building. Greater equity. We need equity, folks. At-risk students benefit from consistent support. I'll say it again. At-risk students benefit from consistent support. Now, here's my final reflection. Summer school is valuable, but it is reactive. It is reactive. It's reacting to a situation that occurred or did not occur throughout the school year. It's reacting to the lack of performance indicators and improvements that we like to see throughout the school year. Year-round schooling is proactive and it's continuous. Now, it's not a cure-all, and it may not work for every district, but it aligns more effectively with the long-term needs of students, and especially students who struggle consistently. Now, here's my call to action. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you or your district tried year-round school? What has your summer school experience been like? What worked and what didn't? Comment below, hit like, subscribe to stay part of the conversation. So I want to thank you for tuning in to Education Insight Daily. I'm Dr. Josh Mack. I'm taking a closer look at education's toughest questions, one episode at a time.